Here we go. We're not live yet. We'll be live. Now we're live.
We are live.
Sierra, we are live. Hey everybody, if you're watching this, you are watching a test in my man cave, and I am not here by myself. Sierra is over there. So it's Sierra, so we can see sort of what's going on your side of the screen.
Hello.
And we are preparing right now to shoot a new Creative Live class on Thursday and Friday of this week, and it goes live, I think, just right before the end of this month. We have this crazy system, so Sierra is switching our new Blackmagic design stuff, and so I don't know if we can see what's going on over there. So Sierra's going to show us her view, and so that is the, oh yeah, there's a delay. I'm looking at the delay. Anyway, that's what we're doing, but not only that, but, well, let me just back up, because we got animated graphics and all kinds of stuff. So let me tell you who I am. My name is Mark Wallace, and I am a photographer and world traveler. Did that work? Yes. Yeah. Okay, we're just trying out some new stuff. And this is Sierra Olson, and she is the producer extraordinaire. And so, blah, blah, Sierra Olson is over there. The amazing Sierra Olson. We're not just going to call you Sierra Olson. There's always going to be the amazing Sierra Olson. And Sierra, where did you go to school, Sierra? You went?
I actually went to NAU, as you can see. I am representing today.
What class did you go to? Class of 2020, so you graduated?
Yes, I did graduate class of 2020, in case you all wanted to see.
Oh, all right. We did that just so we could do some fun graphics. Mm. We also have some extra cameras. So right now, downstairs in my kitchen, we have a coffee machine on standby. And in, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes, the iced coffee is going to start. So we have a coffee cam downstairs. So maybe we can see the coffee. There it is. There's the coffee cam. All right, so there's that. And then we also have I'm printing some stuff. So we have a 3D printer cam that is downstairs. So let's see the printer cam. It is coming up. Oh no, I think the camera died. What? It's okay. Go back to coffee cam just for a second. And I'm going to go fix the other camera. All right. It has, the battery has died. How crazy is that? All right, sorry about that. Coffee cam. Is the coffee cam back?
Yep.
Okay, now we have the coffee cam.
It's on now.
I mean, not the coffee cam, the 3D cam.
3D printer.
3D printer is going. That is great. Okay, so at any moment, we might go from the 3D printer cam back to the coffee cam. Let's see what's going on with the coffee cam. We have 8 people watching this. At any second, the tension is high. Coffee is going to start filling up. You can see we've had the ice in there a little too long. It's already melting. Oh, that is hilarious.
We were a little overly prepared.
Yeah. Okay. So we have, let's see. Oh, Valentina's here. Say hi to Valentina. Hello.
Hi, Valentina.
Wait, we're still on the coffee cam. We got to come back to here so people can see us.
Yep.
Here we are. Yeah, there we are. All right, Valentina's here. And Fabio Montiero is watching. He says he's followed me since Photography 101, Digital Photography 101. And Tubito is there. Omar TV. Hello. Being Wolfie. Hey, what's up? Some traveling friends are here. That's so awesome. We did not announce that we were doing this because we're testing things. And so we don't want to show what's going on. So the other thing that is going on, I have my AutoCAD here. This is Fusion 360 that I've been working in. So you can switch over here to this. Okay, yeah. This is a little crazy thing that I have been working as a side project to create some little parts. And these are in, oh, I should have had one. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I don't have one to show you. But we're using these little parts. And So downstairs, we're printing some new things. So we can go downstairs to our 3D cam, and you can see that we're printing out some new little adapter things. We're using these, so to keep things exciting, we have a 3D cam going on. Can we check back into the coffee and make sure the coffee is not started yet?
Yep.
Okay, the coffee is going to start it's going to be ice brew cold coffee anytime, any second, in 1 minute at 3:37, I think, is when it starts. Or maybe it's 3:35, 3:34, 3:40. Yeah, Sierra's telling me 3:40. Okay, we have 4 minutes until the coffee starts. I know, this is high drama. This is high drama that we have here. All right, let's see what questions. If you have a question about anything, about photography, or about any of the videos that I've done, any of my Adorama TV stuff, any of the travels, any of that stuff, please ask. So I'm going to be watching this. We're here to test out what's going on with our new system and to try to get all the switching worked out. This is Sierra's very first time using this system, and so this is sort of her training. I guess is that what you would say?
Training.
Training, something like that. So watch how cool this is. So Sierra, I'm going to throw her a curveball. Sierra is going to, in a second, she's going to show a cool graphic that says Coffee Cam, and she's going to show the Coffee Cam. All right, are you ready to do that?
I think so.
Watch this. Here it goes. Coffee Cam. Coffee Cam. It did not coffee. It did not cam.
No, there.
Something has gone wacky.
Where is the Coffee Cam graphic?
Coffee Cam graphic is in Media Player 3. It's on the clip. It's on the left. Coffee Cam title. On the left, hyperdeck. This is why we do it.
Oh,
there
yes,
it is.
yes.
Okay, now watch this. We're going to go to the Coffee Cam, and we're going to see a title. Let's see if we can do it. Here it is.
It is not.
It's not doing it. So you would go to, on the bottom row, you need to preview the Coffee Cam, and then tie in the graphic, and then it should go. If you go, nope, let me check. Let me help. Watch this. Watch this. Okay, we're going to undo this. We're going to go, the Coffee Cam is 6. Coffee Cam 6.
Right.
And this is there. So we tie in that. And then now, Coffee Cam!
There we go.
There we go. There we go. All right.
Awesome.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, now we're going to come back to me. Now we're going to do it to the same thing. We're going to go to our 3D printer. We're going to do a live little graphic and go to the 3D printer as I look and see. Paul Kearney Jr., why is it so difficult to get experienced photographers to let you shadow them even if you're willing to pay? That's a great question, Paul Kearney Jr. So, when is the coffee starting? At 3:40?
I believe so.
It's 3:40. Let's go to the Coffee Cam really fast
Okay.
while I help answer Paul's question. So Coffee Cam, any second. Oh, it started. So you can see the first little thing on the Coffee Cam, that first little dot, that means it has started the process of the cold brew. So it's so exciting. So any minute, we'll let you keep an eye on it on your monitor, and then you can bring up the Coffee Cam anytime it goes. All right, so Paul, the reason it's so difficult to have an experienced photographer let you shadow them even if you're willing to pay, there are 2 reasons. One is it's a pain in the butt to have somebody shadow you if you're trying to get stuff done, because the photo shoot then becomes a training session, and experienced photographers don't have the time or the luxury to do that. And so imagine if you had somebody that just showed up to your work, if you're an accountant or somebody, and just have somebody there, and you had to go meet with clients, and you had to go try to get some things done and deadlines. Having an extra person there that doesn't really understand what's going on, and you're having to be distracted, it can really take a job that you're doing specifically for a client and really mess it up. And so most photographers don't want to be teachers, they want to work. And so having somebody there shadowing you, it's really distracting. And it doesn't seem like that if you're want to assist or shadow or something. And so that's one reason. The other reason is because of that distraction, it can cost the photographer not only money, but it can cost a reputation. So if the photographer has a client that maybe they're paying good money, sometimes if a commercial client could be paying $300 or $400 an hour, maybe even more than that. And if they notice that the photographer is constantly having to answer questions to what appears to them to be an assistant, the perception is that photographer has an assistant that doesn't know what they're doing, and so the judgment of the photographer is all sort of thrown off. It's not a good thing to do from a business perspective for the experienced photographer. And so normally what a photographer will do if you want to shadow them is they won't do that if they're doing a paid shoot, because it's just too distracting, it gives the wrong message to the client, and it can cost them a lot of money. If there's a mistake that's made, it just throws everything off. And so the best way to shadow a photographer is to assist the photographer and to get a job as an assistant. And so that is a more difficult thing because most photographers want somebody that has some experience. And so you have to really pay your dues to get to that point where you can assist or do some things. And so the way to do it is to do as many shoots as you can on your own, get involved with a community of other photographers. Is the coffee dropping?
Not yet.
Not yet, okay. At any second, the coffee's going to go. And then have somebody help you on one of your shoots, because then you'll understand sort of how that dynamic happens and if there's a distraction or not, and it sort of helps you understand what to do or what not to do when you're assisting somebody else. And so sort of do all of that stuff. And I know that seems like, why do I have to do that? I just want to go and assist. But you have to pay your dues before you can even start assisting. So once you do that, and for me, that was about a 2, maybe 3 year process before I was able to assist anybody. So it didn't happen right away, not even after months. It happened after years. So you should do that. You should also, if you have...
It's dropping.
It's dropping. Let's see it.
Yep.
Look at this. We have coffee coming in.
Live from the kitchen.
Live from the kitchen. Coffee's coming in. It's exciting. Oh, that's the first drop.
Mm-hmm.
So this happens in stages, and because we've melted the ice, it's so watery. Oh, well. Okay. So anyway, those are some of the things. So what I would suggest that you do is to shoot on your own as much as you possibly can. Be involved in a camera club or a community so that you can meet other people and assist each other to gain experience. And then also take photography workshops, not YouTube workshops or online workshops, but actually in-person workshops. And so here in Phoenix, Arizona, I used to teach a studio lighting class every month, and I taught an 8-week photography class every month. And so I had one on Tuesday, one on Thursday, and so I had just dozens of students that I was working with all the time, and most of them also wanted to assist me. And so what I would do is first I would make sure they went through the entire course so that they were taught the way I preferred them to learn photography and studio lighting and all that stuff. And then I would watch them in the workshop. And if they had some competency, if they knew what they were doing, if they looked like they could actually do a good job, then I would invite them to come in and assist me. And so from that, I probably had, let's see, Keith and Craig and Lance and Brian, and there's probably 10 or 15 different people over the years that have come in and become an assistant of mine, and some of those part-time employees. And so they sort of had to work their way in doing that. That's a really long answer, but the reason that most professional photographers don't just let somebody walk in and shadow them is it's just really inconvenient and not worth it to the photographer. It's just not worth it. Okay, so Paul, you have to let me know if that answered the question. Valentina wants to know where the superstar lights are. So we have NAN lights, which are illuminating. Right now we have a light on me. It's a superstar light, but you can't see it because it's lighting me. And then if we go down, let's go to the 3D cam. So we go down to the 3D cam downstairs. That is being illuminated right now by some really cool nan lights. But you can't see them because they're not in the screen. And then coffee. How's the coffee doing? Let's see how the coffee's doing. Ooh, the second. It's dropped the second one now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I cannot wait to drink that coffee. Do you want to drink it? Or can I drink it?
You can drink it.
I can't. I want the coffee. It's so good. Okay, Charlie from England is here. Randy Gerard says, "Hola, ¿cómo estás, Randy? How you doing?" Paul says, "Thank you." I hope that answered the question, Paul. Fabio. So, Fabio is, I think it's a different Fabio. Fabio Monteiro asked, "How is my world travel?" All right, well, that's a great segue, Fabio, because I sort of wanted to use this informal time to catch people up on what's happened. And so if you don't know, I spent the last 7 years traveling around the world, and I have some stories and stuff. In fact, here is a little clip about sort of that travel. Invited to come south by Eileen Martinez. Now, she is an adventure rider and a motorcycle rider that I've been following on social media, but we'd never actually met in person. And she told me that if I could make it all the way south to Coyhaique, Chile, that she would show me the Carretera Austral. Now, that is route. We didn't rewind it. Okay, so you have to, go back and you have to make sure you stop. All right, sorry.
I'm Mark Wallace. I'm a full-time traveler. In 2016, I left the United States with the goal of riding my motorcycle across every continent except Antarctica. I wanted to see the world, and because nobody was crazy enough to do it with me, I decided I'd do it alone. It took me 3 years, but I finally did it. And then I just kept going. I'm still riding, still exploring, and my wanderlust is untamed. My name is Mark Wallace, and these are my stories.
Okay, so that is what's been happening for the last 7 years. If you haven't tuned in, make sure you check out the Mark on a Bike playlist. There's all kinds of videos of my travels around the world and getting stuck in muddy Tanzania and having to ride through crazy rainstorms and stuff. Really interesting things about what happened in Colombia, the protests in Argentina, some of the crazy things that happened in Chile right before they almost had a revolution. I was there when all that was happening, so that kind of stuff. Some amazing times in Spain. Valentina is here, so we hung out for 5 months. That was fantastic. And also stuff that happened in Russia. But there are also things that I haven't published because when I was traveling, I couldn't find decent Wi-Fi or time to edit a bunch of videos. So there's a couple of things about specifically my motorcycle was named Shifty Drifty. There's an entire story about what happened in Russia and Mongolia and these friends that I met from Novosibirsk and a night of crazy drinking, and all of that combined was how the name Shifty Drifty came about. And so I have all of that stuff that I'm going to make into a new story. Play for you. There's some other things. So I was on a tour with Eileen down in Colombia, and so I think we have like 7 episodes of that vlog that have been uploaded, in the last 2 haven't gone live yet, so they're coming in the next, I think, 2 weeks or so. Our Eileen Martinez, she has just published, I think she's publishing tomorrow, 2 new versions in Spanish, so she did all the Spanish ones. So there's all that travel stuff, but because of COVID and all the border closures, it just wasn't possible to continue traveling overland. And then something else happened. A friend of mine, Chase Jarvis, gave me a call and invited me to create and produce my own curriculum on Creative Live. And so there's a new series of classes that are going to be going live. They're called the Mark Wallace Essential Training Series. And so I think we have a little graphic there that can come up. But this series is all-encompassing. So it's there are already Lightroom Classic, Lightroom CC, Photoshop Basics, All of those have already gone live. Those are essential trainings. So they're for beginning to intermediate photographers, sort of going through an entire school of photography. And so all the post-production stuff happened first. And then now this week we're recording a class on shooting with hot lights, constant lights. So that's about to go live at the end of this month. Then there is my 8-week digital photography basics class that's being translated into an online class on Creative Live. And so it starts from, assuming you don't know anything about photography, going through all the different things of the exposure triangle, all the technical stuff with cameras and focal lengths and compression and distortion and all that kind of stuff. And then has assignments for people to do for all the creative stuff as well. So lines and angles and rules of thirds and color composition and that kind of stuff, storytelling and street photography and all that stuff. So that's a huge class that we've started working on right now for shooting. Hopefully that'll be done before Christmas comes out. My studio lighting basics class that I used to teach in person, that's being translated into a Creative Live class. There's some speed lights classes that are coming. There's 15 different classes. So that's why I came back, because I couldn't travel and I wanted to produce this curriculum. So it's going to take about a year. So every 3 to 4 weeks, there's a new class that's going to be going live on Creative Live, which is really cool. And I'm still making videos on Adorama TV. None of that has ever gone away, so I've done that. So every 2 weeks, there's a new Adorama TV episode that goes out. And because I'm so busy trying to keep up with everything, we have Sierra Olson. So Sierra's over there. This is trial by fire for Sierra. So I told her this morning that I was going to put her live on YouTube. And she's like, okay, we'll do it. So Sierra is helping me out. And I told her this morning I'm making her into a, what did I call it? Producer extraordinaire?
Yep.
We even made a
Exactly,
graphic. Where's your producer extraordinaire graphic?
Let's see. Let me put myself up
Let's see.
and
yeah, watch
my
this.
extraordinaire.
Producer extraordinaire transition that's about to happen. Wham!
Ta-da!
Yes, the amazing Sierra Olson.
It's beautiful.
So that's really cool. Okay, so there's all of that stuff. Fabio, I remember when you were here in Sao Paulo. Oh, Fabio, I went to Sao Paulo and Rio. That was in 2015, I think I was there. That was pretty crazy. All right, so Marazores is asking what software we're using for this live. So, Sierra, we're going to go back to your camera so I can walk through what's happening here. Okay. So, this is not software. This is a hardware solution, and it is a Blackmagic system. So there's several things. Can I sneak into your thing? Okay. So we have, which camera is this? Over here. Hello. We have over here. We have 2 different playback decks, and those are Blackmagic. I forget what they're called, but they're SSD playback decks for like playing back animations and those animated titles and that kind of stuff. This is a big screen that shows us all the different cameras that we have hooked up, so we can look and see what's going on. So if we want to say, hey, I want to go to the coffee cam, I can just go bam down to the coffee cam and we can see what's going on with the coffee. If we want to see what's going on with a 3D printer, we can go and we can go to the 3D printer. And then if we want to come back to what we're doing right now, there we go. And so all of that is happening on this switcher right here. And so this right here, this is a Blackmagic Design ATEM Studio. So it's a 4K ultra high definition SDI based system. And then all the graphics and stuff we have. So we have things like this guy right here that comes up. We can fade it out. All that happens. It's connected through a laptop. It records, and you can't see, but up there there's an audio interface for all the microphones that we're using. And then my computer is also connected, so I can do things to send stuff over for graphics and all kinds. It's really pretty crazy. So we also have 2 playback decks. One's a recording deck, one's a playback deck. So we use that for the graphics and stuff. And then we have a web presenter interface, and that's what we're doing to go live. And so this whole system, I started building it out about 8 or 9 years ago. And then when I got back from my travels, I ripped out all the old 720p stuff that was, dated, and then replaced it with this new controller and these new decks. We have an A7 III that's recording right there. We have a mini studio cam from Blackmagic that's recording my desk over there. We've got a Canon R5 that's recording the coffee cam, or not the coffee cam, the 3D cam. What is that, 7? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's the Sony A7. And then the this guy right here, that is an old, Canon Vixia, something like that. Yeah, and so that's what all that stuff is. So anyway, it's a hardware solution. It's not software. So that's what that is. So maybe I should make an Adorama TV video on that whole thing. I don't know. But, okay, I hope that answers that question. So what I'm going to do now, because I want coffee, I am going to do something sort of cool. So, Sierra, hang out. I didn't tell her I was going to do this.
Uh-oh.
So, can you yank out the right SSD and plug in the other one? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Awesome. So we have these hard drives that have media on them. Yeah, it should go in there. Oh, nope. Try sticking it in the other slot.
This one?
Yeah. There it goes.
There we go.
Okay. It's a glitch. Okay, so what we're going to do is I would like to play a clip that I absolutely love. So this is one of the things that I love about travel, especially on a motorcycle, is this sort of zen that happens. And so there is maybe 6, 7, 8 hours where on a motorcycle you're just riding and there's nothing else but you and the road and your thoughts. And I equate it to like meditation, if you're into yoga or into any kind of spiritual kind of meditation. For me, the thing that I loved about being on the road was every single day I was riding, I would have hours of time that there were no distractions, there was no Instagram, there was no social media, there was no phone calls, there was nothing except for me, the road, and my thoughts. And it was great for introspection, to take a deep dive into things about myself that I wanted to explore, or things that, emotions that I'm like, why am I upset about this, or why am I sad about this? I could take an entire day and just sort of meditate on that and dig through it and figure it out. So it's really difficult to explain all of that stuff. And so what I did is I made this little video, and it's only 2 minutes, but it's a piece of the Atacama Desert in Chile, and it's set to music. And so this, Sierra, is on the top deck. And so we're just going to play this for about 2 minutes so I can get my coffee. And you can, I encourage you, turn up your volume and just enjoy this at full screen and enjoy this view. All right, that is the Atacama Desert. I've been able to cross that 3 times, I think, on my motorcycle. It's one of the most amazing places. It's sort of finding solace in fierce landscapes. It's that kind of territory. I really love it. Anyway, okay, let's see. Fabio Montiero is asking if I've ever read the book Ghost Rider from Neil Peart. I have never even heard of it, so I'll have to add that. I love good books. It's really good. Okay, so what else do we have to try? What else do we have to test, Sierra? Let's show you when you talk.
I'm not sure.
All right, we're gonna go to Sierra so you can see her. She's gonna say, is she sure or not? Are you sure?
I'm not completely sure. We already showed the coffee cam and the 3D printer.
We did that. I think it's going to be good to do a little more switching.
Mm-hmm.
So let's do this. Let's make sure people know that we're live. And so go back to me and then throw up a little bug from Media Player 2 that says live. So I've already thrown it into the thing. There it is.
There we go.
Yeah.
We are live with Mark Wallace.
Live with Mark Wallace. It's really cool. All right. Let's also try... let's go back and let's just try some other things. So you guys are going to watch in live stream Sierra getting trained, having some training going on. So I'm gonna do some rapid fire talking about different things: the coffee, the printer, my computer, me, you. And so Sierra, what I'd like you to do is, as I'm talking, try to keep up and show what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So I'm not going to tell you to do it.
Right.
I'm just going to say, downstairs there's no more coffee. I mean, the coffee is not there anymore. I'm drinking it right now. So you would go to the coffee thing, blam. And then I'd say, but next to the coffee, the 3D printer is printing away. And I'm making these little parts, and I can, we're getting some progress on those. Also, those were designed in Fusion 360. Here it is. So this is the actual design of what you're seeing printed downstairs. So these are for these adapters we're using for HDMI to SDI converters, and this little thing here clips onto a tripod, and then the converter goes in there. It's really sort of cool. And so Sierra has a few things that are going on with her. So she has a really cool, is that an Audio-Technica mic? What is that microphone that you have? I think it's Audio-Technica.
I believe it's Audio-Technical.
So it's that. She's got an 11-year-old laptop, and that controls the graphics and things. And I think another thing that we can do, because I want to go downstairs and show like the little clip and some other things. So I'm going to become a camera operator. So for me to do that, I think what I'll do here is let's look for a second. I have queued up a 30-second clip of Budapest. And so, Sierra, I'm going to let you play that, and I'm going to run downstairs and hop on the other camera, and then I will give a tour of the 3D printer cam.
Perfect.
So, let's roll this clip.
It's you. You're the only person talking.
Hey guys, we are having a little bit of a technical difficulty with Mark's mic.
It's a dead battery.
It is a dead battery, unfortunately, but he's switching it out right now. And we are going to be back downstairs before you know it. He's planning on showing you guys the setup he has downstairs of the 3D printer and the camera and the lighting setup that he did. And yeah, basically showing you what is going on here.
Exactly. All right, I'm almost. I gotta find a battery.
He is just looking for a battery.
I have one.
But I believe this specific thing has been printing for about, what, four hours now?
Something like that.
Something like that. It's been printing for about 4 hours.
Takes about 12.
Takes about 12 hours in total. So it's still got quite a ways to go.
Okay, I have plugged it in. Now, you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now, Mark.
Okay, note to ourselves, my wireless receiver needs to have external power
Okay.
so that it doesn't die on us. Okay, we learned something new.
Yep.
Okay, I want to go down and show. This is great. Thanks everybody for watching our live test stream.
Yes.
It is totally unplanned, totally unmanaged, total chaos. Okay,
All right.
this is a Canon R5, and these lights here are NAND lights. So I will set those. I'm just going to go over here so you can see. These NAND lights are really cool because what you can do is you can move them around. So see that? So they are these little. You can change the brightness of them. You can change the color temperature. Let me see if I can do that. There it is. So I can change the color temperature. I don't know if you can see that's changing. So we'll make it 5600. These little guys rotate. So these are great if you want to have something exactly for this, where we're filming a 3D print, or maybe you're doing hair and makeup, you need something around the model. Those are just really wonderful little NAND lights. So that's what's going on. And then the container, let me see if I can move this around. Those 3D prints I showed you. Let's see if I can do this without messing it up. Come off of there. They're strong. Okay, I'm trying to do this without messing it up. So this is the little 3D print that I made, and I just pulled out. Oh no, I didn't. So those clip on to the tripod like that, and then this holds the little adapter. So I made those two separate parts so that we can have clips of various sizes. So that's the thing that you saw earlier with the 3D mock-up, and that's what's printing on the 3D print thing. So it's this right here. So it's really crazy. All right. So now we have 3D printer cam. That's what that is. All right, I'm coming back upstairs. I'm going to see if we have any questions online. And then also see, we're going to do the thing where we do rapid fire switching. So you're going to follow me based on what I say, not what I tell you to do. So you have to show people what I'm talking about. Are you up for the challenge?
I hope so.
I know you are. Okay, so let me see if there are questions online. Oh man. All right, Pihu says Mark's voice is not coming from his lavalier. Sounds very distant. I think we fixed that. That's fixed? Yeah.
Yes.
Randy12 Gerard, have you returned to the US? Are you still abroad? I am back. So Randy, we talked a lot about that earlier in the live broadcast with even a fancy video. So feel free to rewind and see that. How often will you be live streaming? So Charlie, that's a great question. The answer is, I don't know. because to live stream, it takes a lot of time, and I need Sierra here, and she's expensive. So I don't know if I can afford her for something we're not getting paid for, but we're talking about figuring that out. So one of the ways that you can help out is buy the classes and stuff on Creative Live. I don't know. I think maybe if it's worth it, maybe we could set up a Patreon or something, because it does cost money to do it.
Right.
So Sierra's like, I would like to get paid. So yeah. So Sierra is over here. Let's introduce Sierra to you if you're just joining us. This is Sierra, and she is the producer extraordinaire.
Hello.
There you go. The amazing Sierra Olson. Did I call you Sarah again? No. Sierra. Okay.
You got it right.
I got it right. So Sierra is a graduate from NAU, that's Northern Arizona University. She went to school for photography. She graduated a year ago, so she's class of 2020 NAU. And so, is that right, NAU 2020? Yeah. Let's see.
There we go.
There we go.
Just to prove it.
Just to prove it, we made some awesome graphics. It's so good. And so I met her through Block Studios. It's where I shoot a lot of the Adorama TV stuff. And I'm really needing a crew and somebody to keep my head screwed on straight. And so Sierra came in. And so earlier somebody was asking, Paul Kearney was asking about, how can you shadow somebody or get in to assist? Well, I think Sierra is a good example of how you do it. And so Sierra went to school. She did 4 years of school. She did a Keystone project. She worked for another year after that. And then she's working at a really great studio, a group of studios actually, Block Studios here in Phoenix, to work with different photographers and stuff to check them in and get their money and do all the stuff that is not really glorifying, but it's part of paying the dues. And so she happened to be at the right place at the right time, and but that wasn't enough. So after I talked to Sierra, I then went and looked and scoured all of her work, which she didn't know I was doing. So I went and looked to see how she shot, what she shot, her style, if she had any embarrassing things out there on the internet, because I'm associated with Adorama and other brands like Profoto and Seikonic and X-Rite and Tenba and Climb. Do I have my Climb shirt? Yeah, my Climb stuff, BMW, and all the different sponsors and partners that I have. I can't promote somebody that has, something crazy out there on the web. And so she passed that check. She didn't even know she was being tested for that stuff. Did you know that?
No, I had no idea.
None. It's sort of creepy now, isn't it? It's no idea. And then also the thing that's really important, two things that will set you apart as a person to work with a photographer. Paul, here are two things that you can do for any photographer who wants to assist or to get a job working with maybe a commercial job or whatever. Two things. Well, three. Number one is have great communication skills. If you can't communicate, you're done. So you have to be able to write, you have to be able to send emails, text, that kind of stuff with proper English. So had Sierra sent me, when I got her contact information and sent her a note, if she responded with something like a little emoji or like totes be there, just something stupid, then she would have immediately lost the job. So she didn't. So she was very articulate. She had proper paragraphs, all of that stuff. So, a little formal, but in a good way. So that was good. And then I think we talked on the phone, and again, great communication skills, very articulate. And then after that, then we went and met for an informal interview where we talked at a Starbucks and went through all the stuff that Sierra had done. I got to ask her questions and sort of figure out, because I don't want somebody to work with me that really wants to be somewhere else. I don't want that because it doesn't serve me or the person that I'm working with. So we talked through that, and then there was another test. So Sierra came here, and then we went through all this stuff. And so I was watching to see how quickly Sierra could figure out the concepts that I was teaching, and if she could, mostly it's the concepts that are the most important thing. So if you forget, it's this button or that button, that doesn't matter so much. But if you don't understand the concepts, you'll never figure out which button is which. So I was watching for that. So Sierra did a really great job with that. And then we've been sort of planning the shoot coming up. And so I've been looking to see, how does she communicate? How does she respond? Is she looking at the things I'm sending her? All these things. So I'm looking at all of that stuff to sort of judge what is the future, like what could she do in an organization that we're building out. And so everything so far, fantastic, Sierra. So she doesn't know any of this stuff.
Good.
So that's the stuff. So yeah, anyway, that's Sierra. Okay, let's see. So that question was what? How often will we be live streaming?
Yes,
I think that's how that
somehow
started.
we got into that.
So the answer is I got to figure out
How do you shadow photographers?
or how do you shadow somebody? It's all of those things. All right, Eric Gagnon. Eric, I don't know how to say your name. Gagnon says, welcome back to Phoenix. Thank you so much. How's our 3D print going down there?
Let's see.
Let's see. All right, here we go. Are you ready for your live fast switching test?
I guess so.
Okay, I'm just going to start saying things, and your challenge is to show what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So if I'm talking to you, you should be on screen when you reply. If I'm talking, I should be on screen. If we're talking about the 3D printer, that should be on screen. If we're talking about whatever, so you can just do cuts for this.
Okay.
So this is what it's going to be like as we go forward. All right?
Bear with me.
All right, everybody online, you have to wish Sierra well and give her good luck. She's never done this before. This is her first time. So right now we're on the 3D printer, so we should probably be on me because I'm talking. So everybody give Sierra missed.
Yeah.
Good kudos. And are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. There's no planning. You're just going to have to keep up. All right. So let's do it as if this was an actual live stream.
Okay.
Here it goes. Hey everybody, I'm Mark Wallace, and today I want to show you a quick tour of my in-home workspace. And so right now I am in my spare bedroom where I have set up this sort of place where I can try out all these different gear and stuff. Right next to me over here is Sierra, and she is at the control board. She is switching all of this stuff, and you can see all the black magic stuff that's there. That's Sierra Olson, the amazing producer extraordinaire. And so she's doing that, and just to figure out sort of what we're doing, we have downstairs a camera showing a camera. So this camera is showing our 3D camera. That's a 3D cam. And to see what the camera that you're seeing right now is showing, that's the 3D cam. It is showing this printer right here. And then, so that's that. So I want to show you a couple of other things. So the parts that we're using to hold our little adapters and stuff, these have all been designed in Fusion 360. And so I have them on my computer right here. This is a little component that I created. This blue part is a clip that clips on to a tripod leg or a light stand, and it can be created in different sizes. And then this red part slides onto that. So the red part can be made to hold a battery, a little adapter, or whatever. If we go and look downstairs at the cam that's shooting the 3D printer, so we've got the 3D printer cam. You can see there's a blue little thing on that leg. That is one of the 3D printed things. And you can see us printing out the 3D brackets on the little table. So that's what's printing out right there. So that's just a little project that we have going on. I also want to show you what's behind Sierra. So behind Sierra, we have our Blackmagic Studio. This is 4K Ultra HD, and it's what we use to create the classes for Creative Live. And so we've got several cameras that all go into that system. And then Sierra's got the switcher. You can sort of show the switcher down there. That's that. And that controls all of our different playback decks and all that kind of stuff. And then it goes, maybe you can point at the little deck that records. So it's down there, yeah. So that records all of the different stuff switched live in H.264 format. And so that's what that is. That is a tour of our little space here. Later this week, will be at Loft 19 Studios. It's, I think, one of my favorite studio in the world. It's just this amazing place. And we're going to be filming a class called Shooting with Constant Light. That's part of my Essential Training Series. So it's a new curriculum called the Essential Training Series. And so that I need to cue up for you because I didn't do that. I blew it. There we go. How about that? Okay, now we can show you a graphic. This is my Essential Training Series, which is one of the reasons I came back to the United States, and that is to film this entire curriculum. And so it's everything from basic photography stuff, advanced photography, landscape photography, scenic photography, which I think those two things are the same, portrait photography, working in the studio lighting, video lighting. I've got one class we're working on right now that it's going to be one of my favorite, and that I don't have a title for it yet, but essentially it's how do you start your own YouTube channel? How do you do all of the SEO stuff, get everything embedded on your blog? How do you shoot things? How do you edit things? How do you integrate that with your social media channels? How do you basically launch your own portfolio of stuff? So you might want to teach cooking, you might want to do an overlanding thing, whatever it is, how do you do it? So that's one of the things. I've got an in-depth photography class that's in production right now. We've got studio lighting, advanced and basic, and all kinds of stuff. So that's all coming. So that's it. I think, Sierra, you just did a fantastic job.
You think so?
Yeah, you just kept up with my craziness.
That's good.
So that's really good. That was a good test. Oh, you have a tell. That do you know what a tell is? Like when you're gambling?
Yeah.
So people have noticed online watching you. This is the fun of being on YouTube. Okay. Let's see. Terry Newton said, you got this, Sierra. So you got that. That's really good. Charlie Duran says, thank you, Mark, for your comprehensive answer. Good luck, Sierra, with lots of claps.
Thank you.
Okay. And then Charlie says, Sierra is keeping up on the fly.
Good.
But Hal, L, says this. Are you ready for this?
I think I'm ready.
Okay. Sierra's got a nervous foot.
I'm sorry. Yes, you are right. I do have a nervous foot right now, but I think it's just because it's my first time.
Is it your time?
Yeah.
All right. So are you nervous? We have to see you when you talk, though.
A little. I'm a little nervous, but it is our first live together.
First ever.
So there's bound to be some little mistakes or nervousness, but I think once we do it more, it'll be a lot
perfection.
more seamless. Yeah, perfection.
How do you feel between right now and when you came in and first switched, 3 days ago?
Oh, yeah. It was about 3 days ago. And just seeing the whole console and everything set up was already crazy.
Yes.
But now that we're doing it live, it actually makes me feel a lot more comfortable being able to do it in real time.
And the weight of having people watch you.
Yes.
Does it make a difference?
It definitely does. Definitely does.
So we did this on purpose. So I told Sierra, I'm like, I want people to be watching. We're not going to announce it. We're not going to probably keep this online. But we want actual people watching, asking questions and stuff, because it changes things.
It does.
When you're just practicing and when you have somebody. And that is true, by the way, of photography. So if you're a student, you go to a workshop, you have your own studio, you bring in a model, and you shoot, no problem. It's just perfect. But as soon as somebody's paying you, you forget everything you know immediately. Like all of a sudden, what's happening? Yeah. And then the other thing that's I don't even know what we used to have a nickname for it, but in my studio lighting classes, there was this thing that happened to almost every single student, and myself included. And Sierra, I don't know if it's ever happened to you. Mainly it happened with guys, but what would happen is we would have the air conditioning turned way down because it's like so hot, and people would be complaining. They're like, it's so cold in here. That's nuts. And I'm like, just wait until you start shooting. And what would happen is we would normally have 6 people in the studio, and one at a time would shoot, and then everybody else would assist. And every time the person that was assisting rotated to becoming the shooter, and all the pressure was on them, they had to pose the model and figure out the lighting setup and do all the stuff, they would be sweating and be like, it's so hot in here. And as soon as they rotated off and they were assistant, then they'd be like, it's gold. And so it was weird. Whoever was shooting felt like it was like an inferno. And so does that happen to you as well?
Yeah, it's definitely got to be the pressure thing. It creates this whole other atmosphere where you feel like everything's on the line for you and you have to be perfect.
Yeah, so we need a nickname for that. It's the inverse shooting temperature law. I don't know, but that's what it is. Valentina says, we make a great team. Yay! That's good. That's good. If Valentina says it's good. Yeah, that's important. Okay, so I think let's do this. There's a 2 or 3 minute delay from what you see and what we see from everybody watching. And so I want to give us just a couple of more minutes to see if there's any extra questions or anything like that. And I think it would be fun if people online had like something they would want to see you do from the switcher.
Okay.
Like switch to this, play back this, add this graphic, something like that. I think that would be sort of a fun game. Sierra has no idea I was going to do this. So if you have something that you want to see if Sierra can do on the switcher, now's the time to challenge. Shoot sweats. Okay. Adrian Venner says those are called the shoot sweats. I like that. Shoot sweat, like meat sweats. Yeah. If you eat too much for lunch, you get the meat sweats. Definitely. It's like the shoot sweats. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Adrian, that's a pretty good, I like that. Okay, let's see. We have to wait a couple minutes to see the comments coming in. But I'm going to ask a question of Sierra. So Sierra, you have a project going on right now where you're shooting people smoking marijuana in a legalized in Arizona, and it's going to be a magazine. Is that right?
Yes. So my original idea was to turn it into a magazine. I really just wanted it to be a photographic magazine. Nothing like, not too much text or story to go with it, article. I just really wanted it to be focused on the pictures. And I mainly focused it around portraits, and because that's what I like to shoot the most. But yeah.
I'm creating something for you as you're talking. So don't show my screen.
Oh.
You can show me, but don't show what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
Because it's a secret right now. But people might want to know where to go to see your stuff.
Okay.
Can I tell them where to see your stuff?
Of course.
So you don't have to tell them. We're going to show them in a second.
Okay.
We're going to show them how that works. This is something that we're doing on the fly. This is one of the things I love about this system. You can create graphics in Photoshop and get it to the switcher in real time. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I want to say blam. So what we would like to do is we would like to show Sierra's Instagram title, and we can, and here it is. And here it is. There it is. So if you would like to see all that stuff we just talked about, it is on Sierra's Instagram, Photography by Sierra4.
Yep.
Sierra4?
It's basically, my name's Sierra, but the 4 is an A because it kind of looks like an A.
No, it does look like a big giant A.
Right.
I'm for that. See what I did? It's pretty cheesy, huh?
So yes, please go check it out. I would love that.
Check it out. Okay, let's see. All right, we have stuff. Throw up the like, subscribe, and bell icon infographic. You have to have one of those. Adrian, I do have one of those. I just don't have it where it can be animated. You'll have to export it and stick it on a hard drive. But that's something that we probably add. Yeah. In fact, let me see if I can. That's on me, though, to do that. I'm like, I think I could do that. We'll have to add that to our list of little graphics and stuff that we can do. That's a good one. All right. So I think that is, we are open to questions. We're still chugging away at this. Can we see what's going on with the prints downstairs? Yeah. We're 3D printing right now.
Oh, it actually looks like
Did the camera die?
Our camera went out, yes, but we still have this.
We have to bring it up.
View.
All right. So I have to take it from, it's not plugged into electricity. Okay. Yeah, I can go down and do that. I think one of the things we could do, though, is somebody asked about the travels. And so if you're just joining us, I want to replay something that we played earlier, and that is sort of, we're going to recap. So if you've already seen this, I'm sorry, you're going to see it again. But if you're just tuning in wondering, like, what are you doing here? Are you in the United States? Are you traveling? If you don't know, I spent the last 7 years traveling around the world on a motorcycle, where I visited every single continent except for Antarctica on my motorcycle. And so along the way, I filmed a bunch of stuff, and a lot of that stuff I wasn't able to publish because I didn't have time to edit. There was no internet, and by the time I could edit, it'd be months had gone by. It just didn't make sense. So I'm starting a little series, maybe once every 2 or 3 months. If there's an interesting story from my travels where I have enough photography and video and stuff, I'm going to put together a story. And so I created the very first story about traveling down to Tierra del Fuego with my friend Eileen Martinez. And but the beginning of that story is sort of the intro to the series of stories. And so I think, is it ready queued up? It's not queued up. I think, oh, it might be on the other deck.
Yes.
You might have to unplug and plug. So yeah, we're going, there we go. So anyway, so the thing that we're doing is I'm going to be uploading those. If you haven't seen the playlist, Mark on a Bike, on my YouTube channel, check it out. It starts in 2016, I think, and there's videos of me crossing from Panama into Colombia on a sailboat with a motorcycle. It's sort of crazy. You can see stuff that happened in Africa with getting stuck in Tanzania and trying to get through this crazy storm that I was in. You can see stuff from South America, and there's videos of the protests that happened in Chile and in Colombia. There's a lot of stuff about me in quarantine that happened in Argentina. But anyway, those stories are going to be told. Some of them are already told, but here is a clip of stories.
I'm Mark Wallace. I'm a full-time traveler. In 2016, I left the United States with the goal of riding my motorcycle across every continent except Antarctica. I wanted to see the world, and because nobody was crazy enough to do it with me, I decided I'd do it alone. It took me 3 years, but I finally did it. And then I just kept going. I'm still riding, still exploring, and my wanderlust is untamed. My name is Mark Wallace, and these are my stories. This story.
All right, the 3D printer is growing. You probably heard me turning the camera back on, but it's going. All right, let's see if we have any other questions. Nope, that's it. We have 21 people watching. Isn't that crazy? 21 people are watching our craziness. But I would love if anybody has any questions or anything like that. Are there other things that we should probably practice again to make sure? I'll throw you a curveball. Okay. Can you throw up my title?
I was just thinking that.
Hey!
There it is. Photographer Mark Wallace, World Traveler.
World Traveler. What other titles do we have in there? We have the coffee thing.
Yeah,
we have the 3D.
We have one for the coffee.
The coffee is delicious, but that's the coffee cam. It's no longer watching the coffee.
Yep.
If you didn't watch earlier, you saw the excitement of us making iced coffee.
And then we also have the 3D printer.
3D printer cam. Yeah. Printing out our little parts. That's pretty cool. All right. I will, okay, Adrienne, so I joined late here. What's your direction from here, Mark and Sierra? So much pressure. I don't know. No, kidding. So the thing is, I'm going to be producing and editing and trying to upload as frequently as possible some of the stories from around the world. But mainly I'm focused on Adorama TV, making those videos, and a new class for Creative Live every 3 to 4 weeks for the next year. And so that's what I'm focused on. So I really needed some help, And so last week I met Sierra and we had a great interview and talked. So Sierra is going to be helping me create all that content as much as I can afford to hire her. That's the only limitation right now, is I got to figure out how to pay her. By the way, I wanted to show you guys this book that I found. I don't know if you can see this. This is one of my very favorite books ever. So I dug this out of an old storage unit. But this is my storage unit. I didn't just go to a random storage unit and steal this book. If you can find this online, I highly recommend it. It's from like 1964. Yeah, 1964. It's called Winners and Losers, and you can read it in 10 minutes. But it has like all these old 1960s graphics and stuff in there, and then it has these little sayings of what winners and losers are. And so, for example, I'll just read a couple of these at random. A winner focuses, a loser sprays. A winner learns from his mistakes. A loser learns only not to make mistakes by not trying anything different. Ooh. A loser blames politics or favoritism for his failure. A winner would rather blame himself than others, but he doesn't waste much time with any kind of blame. I love these little sayings. They're so cool.
Yeah.
Here's another one. A loser prides himself on his independence when he is merely being contrary, and prides himself on his teamwork when he's merely being a conformist. A winner knows which decisions are worth an independent stand and which should be gone along with.
That's a good one.
A winner admits his prejudices and tries to correct them in making his judgment. A loser denies his prejudices and thus becomes their lifelong captive.
Wow.
A winner paces himself. A loser only has two speeds, hysterical and lethargic. This thing, I love this book. I don't think it's in print anymore, Winners and Losers, but it's Sidney J. Harris. You could probably find it maybe on Amazon or something, but it's one of those treasures. I think my mom bought it years ago. Not sure, but for what it's worth, fantastic little book. Okay, Hal L. says, who is the author? It is Sidney J. Harris. Let me see if I can, I'm going to steal your camera, okay?
Okay.
Because I think it can get closer. Yeah, there it is.
Very nice.
Very nice. Okay, it's back to you. Very nice. All right, that was not planned. I just saw it on my desk and thought, oh, that's cool. All right, Terry Newton says, can you explain more about Creative Live and how we can find all of your classes? Is it an annual membership? All right, Terry, I will show you. I'm going to go over to Creative Live, and we can go to my computer. There we go. So this is Creative Live, do what you love. If you're not familiar with Creative Live, it predates Masterclass, but it is classes about everything. Photo and video and self-improvement and lighting and portraits and money and finance and illustration and posing and being a maker, Lightroom and Photoshop and you name it, and more. All of that stuff is here. And so you can consume this content in one of two ways. So if we go to classes, you can search by a topic. I'm going to search for myself because I'm a narcissist. So you can see here's Mark Wallace. And here are all the classes that I have created. This one right here, Lighting with Constant Light, is the class that Sierra and I are going to film this week.
Yay!
And so if you click on one of these, I think one of my favorite classes is Speedlights 101. It's just a fun class. You can go in here and see almost 90,000 people have purchased this class. It's been live for I think 7 years or so, something like that. So it's got 40 different lessons. It was shot over 3 days, and it has, I don't even know how many hours. It's I think a 12 or 15 hour class. So to watch this, you can do one of two things. Now I'm logged in, and so I can't click on the stuff because I think I own this. But you can either buy the class or you can subscribe to it's called a creator pass. So if I go back, let's say to Creative Live here, you can watch for free Creative Live TV. So there's stuff that streams. So when my Constant Light class is done, it will stream live for free for a day. If you want to see it after that, then you need to get a creator pass. And those are, I don't even know how to do it, because I think because I'm a creator on Creative Live, I have a different kind of account. But let me just log out. Let me sign out, and then we can see. Here it is. Okay, so you can subscribe, and here are the prices. Okay, so it's $150 if you get a year. And at $150, which is averages out to $12.42 a month, you can watch anything on Creative Live. Any class, as much as you want. You can download stuff. You can put it on your iPad. You can watch on your iPad as you're trying to work through things on your computer or in the studio. So it's just a ton of content. And it's not, I have, I don't know how many hundreds of, maybe over 1,000 tutorials on YouTube. The difference between the Creative Live classes and my online stuff on YouTube is that on Creative Live, because it's recorded live and it's long form, it's much more in depth. And so when I'm making a video, let's say on metering on YouTube, I will make sure everything is perfect, and we'll meter, and if there's any problems with the take, we'll retake it. It's all edited. Everything, any mistakes are chopped out. And one of the problems with chopping out all the mistakes is where you learn things. And so one of the great things about Creative Live is, let's say I was doing a thing on lighting and metering. If I make a mistake and I forget to turn on a button or a widget or something, it's there. It's in the class. And so I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot. I should have done this. And you'll go, that's why that's happening to me. He just did that same thing. And you don't have that luxury on YouTube because people's attention span are about 5 minutes. And so if you add all that, nobody will watch. So Creative Live, it's much more in depth. It's it's planned out very well. So everything is section by section. It builds on different things. And the people that are presenters on Creative Live tend to be the best in the industry. And so, if you go on YouTube, it's hit or miss. You'll find Gavin Hoey, spectacular. You're going to get great stuff. You're going to go Vanessa Joy, great stuff. You're going to find, people that know what they're talking about. But then you also have to sort of wade through a bunch of other people that you're like, what? What are you showing me? This is a waste of my time. On Creative Live, you can't just go and make a Creative Live class. You have to be invited, and only those people who have proven that they're proficient are invited. And so that's sort of how that works. You're getting quality. You got Sue Bryce, and you've got Jared Platt, good buddy of mine. You have just tons of people that are well known. And then also, apart from photography, you've got Chase Jarvis does a bunch of live things, and so you've got some, very well known people that are on the platform that are really fun to watch. And so I think I don't think it wasn't Elon Musk. Who was it he just had on? It was, people of that caliber that hop on. It's Richard Branson. I think it was Richard Branson that he got on. Anyway, that's Creative Live. So check it out if you want. All right, I'm going to go back to see what other questions that anybody has. Hal found winners and losers on Amazon for $5. That's pretty cool. All right, well, I think we have talked to death. Sierra, anything else?
I don't think so. Not from me, at least.
Okay. Well, I don't know how long we've been going. I think we've been going for an hour? An hour and 14 minutes. Ooh, wow. That is enough. So once again, let's take a tour of the house. We have the 3D print station. Bum, bum, bum. We have the camera recording the 3D printer. Bum, bum, bum. We have Sierra. Sierra missed. Oh, you 3D printed yourself. Yay! And then we have me. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. It's been great. Thank you, Sierra, for jumping in here and being super producer extraordinaire.
Thank you.
That's been great. I think we might even leave this live for
I don't know, a few hours so people can see it. And then we can watch it later on and see how we did. That'd be sort of good. But thanks everybody for joining us. We're going to fade to black and then we're going to go away. Bye. So wait about 2 minutes. You can hear us talking in blackness, but I'm going to mute us, so don't make it go dead yet. Bye, everybody.